Fourth oral question, Lord Harris of Pentregarth.
I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
The Government is cooperating with international partners, both bilaterally and multilaterally, to address advanced AI's regulatory challenges, including via our autumn Global AI Safety Summit. The AI Regulation White Paper recognises the importance of such cooperation, as we cannot tackle these issues alone. Per the G7 leaders' communiqué, we are committed to advancing international discussions on inclusive AI governance and interoperability to achieve our common vision and goal of trustworthy AI aligned with shared democratic values.
I thank the Minister for his answer and particularly commend the Prime Minister for his initiatives in this area, because clearly advanced AI is epoch-making for the future of humanity, and international cooperation is absolutely essential. Is he able to say, first of all, whether has there been any response from China to the Prime Minister's initiative? And secondly, would he agree that one possible role model is the International Atomic Energy Agency as a way of monitoring future developments?
With respect to China, first we must recognise that China is ranked number 2 in AI capabilities globally, and we would not therefore envisage excluding China from any such discussions of how to deal best with the frontier risks of AI. That said, the way we approach China to involve them in this, we need to take full cognizance of the risks associated with that, and therefore will do so engaging effectively with our partners to assess the best way forward on that.
My Lords, my noble friend is right to talk about regulation, but is he not...
My Lords, the Minister, rightly in a recent speech, said that AI regulation clarity is critical, but how on earth, in trying to achieve this, is he going to reconcile the AI White Paper's very tentative and voluntary sectoral approach to AI governance and the Prime Minister saying that unregulated AI poses an existential threat to humanity and his desire to lead the world in AI safety and regulation? My Lord, does this mean we're in a screeching U-turn is in prospect, my Lords?
I thank the Noble Lord for the question. I think that the starting point for the AI White Paper, which I don't accept the characterisation of tentative, the starting point was first, don't duplicate existing regulators' work. Second, don't go after specific technologies because the technology space is changing so quickly. And third, remain agile and adaptive. And I think what we're seeing is the benefits of being agile and adapting to a very rapidly shifting landscape.
My Lords, I want to congratulate my noble friend and the Government for getting involved in international negotiations and discussions in this area. But isn't this an area where we've got to be careful that we don't have a situation where there's nothing to fear but fear itself, and that we will lose out, if we're not careful, in having over-regulation, which prevents us from using AI to the fullest extent for positive, excellent reasons on behalf of the people of this country?
My noble friend is absolutely right to say that the potential benefits of AI are extremely great, but as are the risks. And I think one of the functions of our recently announced foundation model task force will be to scan the horizon for both sides of this in particular, both the risks, which are very considerable, but the benefits, which are very considerable too.
Can I differ from our noble colleague who said we must develop AI to the maximum extent? There are benefits, but will the Minister accept that we will ignore the dangers of AI to great peril, not only ourselves but the world? The problem is, despite the advantages of artificial intelligence, within a very short period of time, It will be more intelligent than human beings, but it will lack one essential feature of humanity, which is empathy. And anybody or anything without empathy is by definition psychopathic. It will achieve its ends by any means. And therefore Lord Harris is correct to say that despite the difficulty of competition between states, the US and China, and within states, Google, Microsoft and the rest, it is absolutely essential we get an ethical regulatory framework before technology runs so far ahead of us that it becomes impossible to control this phenomena.
Yes, the risks have indeed been well publicised and are broadly understood. As to whether and when AI becomes more intelligent than humans, opinions vary, but the risk is absolutely there. And collectively and globally, we have to take due account of the risks, because if not, I'm afraid that the scenario that the Noble Lord paints will become reality. That's why the bilateral and multilateral engagements globally are so important, to have a single interoperable regulatory and safety regime, to have AI that the world can trust to produce some of the really extraordinary benefits of which it would be capable.
My Lords, I'm very grateful for Lord Harris for raising this issue, and I too believe the best way in which we will find the potential of AI is by paying very great attention to regulation and to ethics, and building on what's just been said. Actually, what is best in us is even beyond rationality. Greater love hath no man than to lay down his life for his friends, not a rational decision. So I'd like to ask a question to the Minister about the Autumn Summit, which I welcome. And it's a simple question, really, because I think because of the kind of smorgasbord of ethical issues that this raises, I'm slightly concerned, though I may have got this wrong, that this summit will be gathering together business leaders. But what about people from civil society? Will they be invited to the summit? And has this been given real consideration in helping us build an ethical framework for regulation?
I think the Right Reverend Prelate is right to argue that we need to have a very broad field of contributors to the difficult questions around AI ethics. As to the specific attendees and agenda of the AI Global Summit this autumn, those are to be determined, but we'll have, if I may use the phrase, a broad church.
My Lords, it is easier to talk about ethical regulations, particularly internationally, than actually to address it. Because innovations in AI, particularly advanced AI and generative AI, are occurring at a pace. Generative AI is also already threatening some of our key industries. And we need some kind of regulation that reduces that threat, at the same time allowing the economy to grow. Well done.
Indeed, and the white paper set out the government's approach to regulation. Consultation on the white paper closed on Wednesday. It's received obviously a range of highly informed critiques and indeed praise from several surprising quarters. But once we've been through and assessed the findings of that, we will take forward the approach to regulating AI, which, as the Noble Lord points out quite rightly, is moving at a very fast pace.
My Lords, while we're told that the online safety bill is both technology neutral and future-proof, concerns are being raised with doubts that emerging AI-related threats are sufficiently covered. With the bill finally approaching its report stage, does the government intend introducing any AI-focused protective measures? And, my Lords, what if the government realises after the bill's passage that more regulations are needed? How confident is the Noble Lord the Minister that future legislation won't be subject to the same sorts of delays that we've experienced with the online safety bill?
I think the noble lord is absolutely right to point out that legislation must necessarily move more slowly than technology. As far as it has been possible to do, the online safety bill has been designed to be future-proof and not to specify or to identify the specific technologies and their effects. AI has been discussed as part of that. Those discussions do continue.